doing a quick update on what happened. Lots of stuff going on. Of course, the Arkansas legislature is doing their thing. They're having the regular session where they are passing a bunch of bills. As I understand, earlier today, the raw milk bill was passed. You can find footage of that on the Arkansas legislative website. Tomorrow, there is on the schedule a bill regarding the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA. Now, I don't know if it will be actually debated if it's on the calendar. It's often a little fuzzy about what bill is actually being debated. If you know of a bill that's actually being brought, especially if you're a legislator, let me know so that I can let folks know. I had a friend of mine, Steve Finnegan, testify in a bill, but I didn't get by the time I heard it was going on, it was already, it had already been more or less going through. Follow me at Just Over Angle for updates on issues that matter to you. I used to be able to broadcast a live stream via Facebook. I can't do that anymore. So I just take the Rumble link and post it on there. But last night, what I did was record the Craighead County Republican Committee meeting. So for those who don't know, the county committees across the state of Arkansas are having their elections for new officers. And so those officers are chosen by the county committee by what are known as active members. At least that's the way it's supposed to be. So I was informed of that the Craighead County or Republican Committee might have some drama, some issues where there might be some rule cheating or some other type of shenanigans going on at that county committee meeting. So myself, my wife, lovely Rebecca, and Lori Justice traveled up there to show support for patriots who are fighting the Asa Hutchinson, pretend to be pro-Trump, but actually aren't establishment. And in that effort, we kind of had an idea of what was going on, but we weren't sure what was going to happen. Apparently, what had happened was Jonelle Fulmer, former RPA chair, this was the chair who sicked the cops on me illegally and locked people out during the fake credentials hearing in the convention before last. That Jonelle Fulmer, she decided to become an advisor for this small faction within the Craighead County Republican Committee that wanted to usurp and replace Patriot Barry Edgars with a group of people that were more aligned with the establishment. The Never Trumpers decided to become pro-Trump. And they'll deck themselves out in all kinds of Trump gear and whatnot. But now they're not really pro-Trump. But anyway, they got a guy there named Tim Loggins who apparently had ran for chair last time and lost and has kind of developed a little bit of an attitude about it. He apparently likes to get in people's faces about the issue. And they were supposed to start their meeting at 6, but I'm going to play this. It's about 10 minutes long, but it's basically Tim Loggins and Jonelle Fulmer trying to push the idea that inactive members can somehow vote. And I'll talk a little bit more of that later on. There's a little bit of background noise, so I'm going to skip a little bit of this because so I could focus in. This is Tim Loggins. This is Barry Edgars, and this is Lori Justice. And then Jonelle Fulmer will come to the play later on. Now she's reading off the RPA rules. Tim Loggins is reading off of a supposed text message from the Republican Party of Arkansas Rules Committee. And this, by the way, is the same Rules Committee that failed to do their job regarding the state convention, then made up an excuse for the executive committee to ignore the state convention and just seem to not want to care about the will of the people regarding Republicans in Arkansas. So that's that Rules Committee. I believe the chair of it is Belinda Harris Ritter. You've heard me talk about her before, I believe. Anyway, he's trying to read off his little statement, and then they're trying to read off the rules regarding inactive members of the Republican Party. Now, here this lady comes up. This is Janelle Fulmer, again, former chair of the Republican Party of Arkansas. And she's going to give her little opinion regarding what goes on her interpretation of the rules. And in reality, she's basically handling them. She's basically telling this guy and a few other folks what to do. So now Janelle Fulmer is going to go and chat with Lori Justice. And by the way, the meeting's supposed to have started. It's, as you can see here, they ended up delaying the meeting by 10 minutes. Notice the finger pointing. Again, this is Chair Janelle Fulmer arguing with Lori Justice over whether or not an inactive member should have the right to vote. So I think she's trying to pretend like she's just asking a question, but when you delay a meeting for 10 minutes and you're constantly pushing the issue, you're not trying to clarify something. You are accosting people and you are pushing for an agenda. And by
Hey, we don't have any old business that I'm aware of. And we'll move on to the election of officers.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
Can I have a microphone? Point of order, Mr. Chair, as you and I discussed before the meeting, we called about inactive members today, carrying proxies down to RPA. RPA advised no, because then they would lose their vote, which led to another conversation. What do you mean inactive members can't vote? We were advised by the rule committee that per the rules of the RPA, inactive members can vote in person. Please don't accept my word for that. We have written verification of that in a text message from the Rules Committee. I have a past National Committee woman and a former chair, Ms. Jonah Former, who is here, who has that written documentation. Inactive members, by the rules of the RPA, can vote in elections in person. What they cannot do is vote in an executive committee meeting. They cannot issue a proxy. That's spelled out in the rules. I advised the chairman of that before the meeting, and we tried to advise the secretary of that as soon as we found out, in the interest of fairness, so that we can notify inactive members, hey guys, we've been doing this wrong. The chair, with the input of his parliamentarian, Ms. Lloyd Justice, that he's called a not to be special parliamentarian, has ruled against me and said so, that he disagrees with what I'm saying, in essence, disagreeing with the Rules Committee.
Yeah, amen.
Now, I just want to say this. I'm going to vote just like normal, but I'm also going to file agreements that this proceedings is not following the rules. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
by the chairman for the purpose of election of officers. There it is. There's nothing at all anywhere that says inactive members shall be allowed to vote. It's not there. It doesn't matter what the Rules Committee suddenly decides to state. What they decide to dream up in their heads. And to hit the point home, here it is, Law Insider Dictionary. Inactive members are members. This is by Law Insider. Inactive members are members who at the time of determination have resigned from active or personal business, blah, blah, blah. Inactive members do not have voting rights. If you look there, voting rights. And this is just an example of what an inactive member is. So this is an organization, and it's pretty clear. It's pretty simple. It's the literal definition of an inactive member. The literal definition of an inactive member is someone who's no longer active. I don't know why this is so complicated. I don't know where the Rules Committee gets this idea, and I don't know why Janelle Fulmer is telling Tim Loggins to try to argue this. There's nothing to deny. There's nothing to, it's like a right you never had. It's like these illegals pretending like they somehow have a right to be here. And I'll get to that in a little bit. You know, illegals never had, there is no right in any country to just sneak in and be given and put on the welfare rolls and not even have to obey the laws. It does not exist anywhere. And so what has happened is this looks like some feeble attempt to try to twist the rules, either to sabotage the efforts of the Craighead County Republican Committee or allow the establishment to cheat and somehow steal other elections. Now, I'm going to upload more video, including the votes on this. And here actually is what happened as a result of that. So anyway, Tim Loggins is arguing on behalf of Janelle Fulmer and the establishment folks that inactive members can vote. So here's what happened regarding that. This would be.
No one seconded. Okay, so he's sewed an opposite side here. Okay, so he's sewed an opposite side here, and what we need to do now is bring it to a vote. Is that correct? And it has to be from active members. If you've got an armband on.
We voted.
No one seconded.
We voted
motion, by the way.
Yes, I did. He said I did.
Okay, ready. Okay.
This committee voted to suspend local rules and go by state regulations.
We don't have rules, then we don't have county. County rules, you have to abide by the state rules, so there's no point having the county.
All right, he's appealing the decision of the chair, and so if you have a armband on, if you agree with my decision, please stand. Okay, we'll start off with a count, starting with.
So folks, yeah, it's overwhelmingly voted down. this idea that somehow inactive members could vote. And in the end, those who, when that was all sorted out, they had their elections. Here, I'll show you the chair for Craighead County is Barry Edgars. He was reelected. Vice chair, Stephen Lloyd. Secretary was Marcia Anderson. Treasurer, Jamie Lawson. Election commissioner, one was Andrea, and election commissioner, actually, there should be two, is Paul House. Also, it should be noted that Washington County Republican Committee, which happens to be the home committee for our RPA chair, Joseph Wood, had their elections, and apparently these same type of what you would call establishment folks lost that race as well. They got beat by the Patriots in that election as well. So last night was a overwhelming victory for Patriots in the fight for control of the Republican Party of Arkansas. But we have a long way to go. There's other county committee meetings that are coming up, and there's lots of things to deal with. There's actually, I saw this recently. Saw this earlier. One of the issues that got me involved in politics was the fight against illegal migration. This is posted by Proud Army Brat on Twitter X. And this is a bunch of protesters in, I believe it's Rogers, Arkansas. Does it say no asylum? Stop separating families, they being together. All people, something about Jesus. Jesus was a something. By the way, Jesus did not illegally immigrate. All of his travels were within the Roman Empire. And I guess this was originally by Wall Street Apes and then Orlando's Painting that did this. So yeah, we got an illegal alien issue here, and we need to fight it. And we need a conservative Republican Party that actually wants to stop illegal immigration and not just give mouth service to it because it's popular. And as this person says, people probably illegals. Some of them are, and some of them probably are like people that benefit from illegals. Like some of these drama mamas that like to have shack up with losers that are going to be deported. No human is illegal. That's not true. If you commit a crime, you become illegal. And they're flying Mexican flags. Yeah. Yeah, they need it. If they're here illegally, deport them. Anyway, that's why I recently saw that and just decided to just let folks know about that. But folks, follow me at Just the Right Angle, where you can get updates on what's going on Rumble, YouTube, Keep Arkansas Legal. I'll also make this into a podcast. Of course, you can go back to here. I'll show this tab again. Oh, wait. My content. You can see I got lots of videos on various issues. The Pulaski County Republican Committee was the 17th, where I was elected chair. In significance of that, Michael White was elected election commissioner. I've tried to keep up what's going on with the insanity in Jefferson County. If you think things were crazy in the GOP committee meetings, you got to watch the Jefferson County Quorum Court. I have some highlights of that. There's a little bit of my inauguration footage and that sort of thing. I want to again thank Lori Justice for helping those folks out. Barry Edgars and many other patriots who stepped forward. Of course, my lovely wife, Rebecca. Speaking of which, the Lincoln County Republican Committee is this Thursday. It'll be at 7 at Mike's Place in Star City. If you're in the area or nobody that's in the area, have them stop by. Have them chat with us. If nothing else, it's a great way to get out and get some pizza. But that's about all. I have a lot of things I need to work on here. Do a non-political job. If you like what you see, there's a donation links there. I do take Cash App, Fundly, PayPal, as usual. I do need some better equipment. I probably need a better laptop, among other things. But find a way to get involved. These kind of fights are happening across the state and the nation. In reality, everyone talks about Jefferson County as a failed county, but in reality, a lot of your cities and even this state are actually in fiscal distress. There's a lot of roads that need to be fixed and aren't. A lot of things need to be taken care of and aren't being taken care of. Little Rock is going to probably push another sales tax because that's pretty much all Frank Scott Jr. knows how to do. A lot of work needs to be done. This nation is, of course, trillions of dollars in debt. It needs a lot of fixing, and Trump isn't going to do it by himself. Always remember, when the wicked rule, the people groan. That's about it for today. Y'all have a great day.